back to the F1 Journal and to the Italian Grand Prix qualifying review, which saw Lewis Hamilton take pole, with Carlos Sainz the surprise of the session in third, and Sebastian Vettel exiting Q1. Hamilton sealed his 94th F1 pole, beating Bottas just by 0.069 of a second. Sainz was definitely driver of the session in third. Perez fourth ahead of Verstappen. Traffic hampered Vettel and Leclerc, who qualified 16th and 13th respectively. Lewis Hamilton edged out Valtteri Bottas for pole position at the Italian Grand Prix, where Mercedes dominated qualifying, while Carlos Sainz was a surprise third for McLaren. Sebastian Vettel fell at the first hurdle. It was a miserable Saturday at their much-loved home track for Ferrari, with Vettel out in Q1 and Leclerc only 13th, and Red Bull also struggled in a feisty session as both drivers missed out on the second roll. But after claiming the new 4 Italy engine rules, it was introduced to slow down Mercedes. They comfortably handled the lack of party mode and the near constant traffic to crush the competition, and it was Hamilton who sealed his 94th pole around F1's fastest track, beating Bottas by just 0.069, 8 tenths faster than a non-silver arrow though. Fastest non-silver or black arrow was Carlos Sainz, who Martin Brundle said produced the lap of the day to edge out Sergio Perez in the racing points to head up the second row, with Max Verstappen a disappointed 5th Red Bull. Teammate Alex Albon were only starting 9th behind Lando Norris, Danny Ricciardo and Lance Stroll. For the first time since 1984, Ferrari were missing from the top 10 entirely in the Italian Grand Prix qualifying. Vettel became a victim to the end of Q1 traffic mess as drivers, much like last year, jostled for position at the start of their crucial flying laps in a bid to get a slipstream, which an angry 4-time world champion was unable to improve. Esteban Ocon and Kimi Raikkonen came particularly close to colliding at that instance. Leclerc, meanwhile, said that there was nothing more he could do, qualifying in 13th, 2 tenths off a Q3 shootout. The real concern is the true place, said Brundle about F1's more successful outfit. It's not like they've had a driver error or a bad bit of luck, it's their pace. A new F1 engine rule has been introduced for this weekend's Italian Grand Prix, with teams now having to operate in the same single engine mode from the start of qualifying to the end of the race. Mercedes, who are thought to have one of the F1's most powerful party modes on a Saturday, believe their qualifying pace would be hampered because of the change. But by Monza's evidence, there had been no reason to worry. Hamilton and Bottas traded fastest times in every segment of qualifying, and no team ever really got close to them, with suspected closer rivals Red Bull falling into the midfield. Bottas, so desperate for championship momentum, had the upper hand going into the final shootout, who had been beaten on both Q3 laps by Hamilton, who had made quite a habit of delivering it when it matters. You saw how close it was between us all on traffic, said Hamilton. It was a really demanding, clean lap. I think I did it on both, so I'm generally really happy. Renault also seemed to have had a few issues with the new engine rule, with 3 Renault-powered drivers in the top 7, Sainz, Norris, Ricciardo. Although it may not have been related to the change in regulations, Verstappen regularly cited a lack of power in Q3, hence the disappointing start position. The impact of the tow around the high-speed Monza is greater than at any other track this calendar, as evidenced by last year's qualifying farce, as the drivers tripped over each other at the end of Q3, while teams avoided a direct repeat in the pole fight today. There was still controversy. This came particularly at the end of Q1, as all but 3 drivers came out for flying laps at the same time, leading to a build-up of cars before the final parabolic curve on their outlets. This meant drivers, including the likes of Vettel, who needed to improve to reach Q2, were racing almost wheel-to-wheel on their pivotal efforts. Ocon and Raikkonen, who both progressed, came close to colliding, while Vettel and Williams' George Russell lost a huge chunk of time into the opening chicane on their laps, with no bottom 5 drivers posting quick enough times. It was a complete mess. They were all so heavily compromised, said Karun Chandrock. Russell was angry with his team for sending him out at the time when his rival drivers were ragging on the team radio. He said on the radio, "Fuck me, boys, what are we playing at? We need to be the ones capitalising on these fuck-ups, not being in the fuck-ups." Lovely. Russell added on Sky F1, "We're the slowest team on the grid. We need exceptional circumstances to progress." And these were exceptional circumstances. We're all in the same boat. I don't know why everyone sends out cars at the exact same times. I guess it looks a bit comical. It's frustrating. before I go, let me run you through the final order. Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, party mode didn't affect them. Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez, I was very surprised to see them that high. I thought if anyone was going to beat Verstappen, it would be Ricciardo. Verstappen, Norris and Ricciardo, I think will probably be disappointed, especially Norris, given where his teammate came. And Renault and Red Bull just didn't have the pace. Stroll and Albon both out-qualified by their teammates. AlphaTauri, pretty solid. Ocon will be disappointed, as will Leclerc. Kimi and K-Mag, Grosjean did quite well to finish above of the Ferraris, and then Giovinazzi, Russell and Latifi just don't really have the pace, to be honest. Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you thought in comments down below about qualifying. Follow me on Twitter, link in the description below. And subscribe to my other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.